Hi, welcome to Paradise Lost. This is Lucy. Did we choose to be born? Now, that is a question that get asked so many times over and over again um throughout my life, throughout everybody's life. I even ask this a lot. I ask myself, why did I come to Earth? Why did I choose to come to Earth just to suffer? Why are we here just to suffer? Why did I choose to be born? I never chose to be born. However, today I have two stories that will prove to you that we did indeed choose to be born voluntarily. And one is a story that is told by somebody else, and one is a story based on my true experience, and these two stories connect with each other. So I believe it will become a very, very strong evidence as to when it comes to the proof of us choosing to be born. So the story comes from a Japanese doctor that did a survey on hundreds of toddlers that learned how to speak. He asked all of them, how did you come to Earth? How did you come to life? And they all said, every single one of them said that they come from a place, let's just call it Babyland. And they all come from Babyland. And there's a monitor in Babyland. When before they were born, they get to swipe on that monitor. They get to pick their families, and once they choose it, they go down a water slide, and they slide and then slide, and then finally they reach their mother's belly, and that's how they were born. And then the doctor asked another question: why did you come to Earth? For us, it feels like we come to Earth just to suffer. We come to Earth just to do stupid things, and then we die. And when the doctor asked that question to the toddlers, they all said in one thing in common. They all said they are here to help people, and that's a very interesting point, which I find hard to grasp even till now, because there are so many people who aren't helping people, who are doing the exact opposite of helping people. But that's a whole nother topic. But that's basically the survey that the Japanese doctor did, is that we all come from Babyland, and we all went down a water slide, and we are all here with the intent of helping people. So that is story number one. And then comes to story number two, which is a true story that comes from my sister. So when I still remember, it was on the day of my grandpa's funeral. I shared this story with my sister. I said, hey, isn't this story interesting? It's a story that was told by it was told by a YouTuber that's very popular in Taiwan. And I said, hey, this is a very interesting story, and it comes from this channel. And then she told me, oh, she never watches that channel because that channel's videos are too long. They're usually half an hour long, even sometimes an hour long. So she never watches that channel. And I said, okay, all right, well, I'm just sharing the story with you. It's very interesting. And if you don't watch that channel, it's okay. I just think their channel is pretty interesting. And the stories they share are very mind-boggling, very interesting. And later that night, the very day that I shared the story with her, my sister had a dream. She dreamt of her and I going down a water slide. No, wait, actually, I never shared that story with her. I did not share the story of the water slide, the Babyland story. I didn't share the Babyland story with her. I believe I shared something about Earth being a prison and alien stuff. I shared some alien stories with her, and she said, oh, interesting. However, I don't watch that channel. And I was like, all right. And then later that very night, she had a dream. She had a dream of her and I going down a water slide. And I at first I went down, and then later I told her, hey, I don't want to go down first. And then so I went back up the water slide, and then she kept sliding and sliding and sliding, and eventually she went down into like a water area. She went down into the water, and then that's it. That's the end of the dream. And when she told me she had a dream, she had a wacky dream where we both went down a water slide, and I was supposed to go down first, but I told her, "Hey, I don't want to go down first." And then she went down the water slide herself, and then eventually into water. And she told me that story, and I told her, "Hey, that YouTube channel that I mentioned yesterday, that channel literally made a video talking about how babies come to Earth, how babies come to life, and it's the exact description of the same thing that the doctor surveyed. They all said the same thing. They all said we went down a water slide. We come from Babyland," and she was completely mind blown, especially when it comes to like our understandings of how we were born and why we were born, life before birth. It's all very. It was. We were both in shock, and till this day, I'm still in shock because of how crazy that dream was. My sister often has very interesting dreams. I believe she's more tapped into these spiritual realm. However, I think I'm more spiritual, but I think she's more tapped into it, while I'm more practical, but more spiritual and practical than her. But she's more tapped into the realm than I am. I don't have like a lot of weird dreams, but she does. So these two stories, I believe, connect with each other perfectly. I believe that there is a Babyland. I believe that that is a life before. That's not life. I believe it's a world before we were born. It's a place where the souls gather up. I call it Babyland. I don't. However you want to call it, I call it Babyland. And I'm not sure about the monitor part. I'm not sure about whether we choose our family or not. Whether we choose our family or not is still up to debate, because my sister never specifically mentioned about choosing our family and all that. However, when it comes to the water slide part, we did go down a water slide, and my sister did go down the water slide first because she is my elder sister. She is older than me. She is 2 years older than me. I'm 2 years younger than her. So technically, she did go down the water slide first. She went down, and I did go down the water slide 2 years later, apparently. So I think these two stories perfectly complement each other. So yeah. So then comes the question: did we choose to come to Earth? Did we choose to be born? I believe the answer is yes. I believe we did choose to be born. And did we choose our family? I am not quite sure, I must say. I'm not sure if the story makes sense, if the story is true, if my story, the story of how my sister and I were born, is true. And if it proves that the Babyland story is true, then in a way, yes, we do choose our families, and we are here to help people. But I believe that, we were here to help people initially. However, as we grew up, this world is full of sin. It's full of terrible things. We grow up, and then we were taught different things. At first we were here to help people, but then as we grow up, I believe something goes on in our head, something in our environment affects us. Some people are born evil, some people are born a saint. I'm not sure about the being born, I'm not sure about the we come to Earth to help people part, and I can't guarantee the we choose our family part. But what I can guarantee is that Babyland most likely exists, and that we most definitely did go down a water slide before we were born, and that we did choose to come to life voluntarily. For what reason? I wouldn't say I know. I'm not exactly sure. But I would say is that we all voluntarily come to life. for some reason. For some reason, I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. I'm 22 years old. A lot of you watching are probably younger than me. No, older than me actually. If you're watching this video, you're either having a midlife crisis or something like that, or you're simply interested. But yeah, we did voluntarily come to life, and that is the story of the doctor that did the survey, and the story of the dream that my sister had about her and I going down the water slide. And yeah, that's pretty much sums up the entire debate of whether we come to life, whether we choose to be born. I believe we all chose to be born, just for different reasons. I believe maybe I don't know. I don't know really. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the stories. I hope you enjoyed. This is all based on true story, by the way. My sister did have that dream that specific day, and it's all big coincidence. And sometimes when coincidences happen too many times, you'll start to think to yourself, maybe it's no longer a coincidence. Maybe it's the truth, you know. When the dots connect, sometimes you just have to believe in it, even though it's kind of absurd to think about it. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, please like it so that I know you like this type of video, and so that the algorithm knows that will promote my videos, and I'll feel more encouraged to continue making these videos. And if you like my videos, you can subscribe for more videos in the future. It's free, completely free to subscribe. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you've learned a bit something, and if you have any similar experiences, or you can share your opinion on whether you think we come to Earth, we come to life voluntarily, please share it in the comment sections. I read them one by one. I read every single comment. I try to. If I get too busy, might not, but I'm not busy at all. So yeah, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.